building and small office buildings and stuff of that nature and so forth. My dad and his brother had a company.
Yeah. What was it called? What was it called? What was your company called?
What?
What was your company called?
Oh, John W. and P.G. Barter. That was the name of it.
All right. So I'm guessing they didn't speculate at all on the stock market or anything?
No. No, we didn't get hurt at all in the stock market. Maybe in the minute thing. I mean, you know, people give you, in lieu of money, might give you 2 or 3 shares of stock or something like that, but we didn't pursue it. In other words, I don't even today. I don't fool with the stock market.
All right. So, in 1932, you know that was the worst year of the Depression. Most of the experts say that. So, will you say that your family had money?
Oh no, they didn't have money. No, not by a long shot. But Roosevelt was the best thing that happened to us during the Depression. For all poor people.
Really? Which programs would you say impacted you the most?
Well, you had programs for everyone. You had the CCC, which are Civilian Conservation Corps, and they were for people for 16 upward, and they were the bases really of the Army. When I went into the military, I ran into a lot of guys that were in the CCC, and they knew more about the military than any of us, and we more or less followed their direction. But then they had a program which I was under, which was the Army Specialist Training Program, and it just paid $5 a month. That doesn't sound like much money, but that's what it paid for it. But that $5 bought you lunch at school and so forth, because you only spent something like 15 cents or 20 cents a day on meals. I remember at McGill that you had 15 cents, you could get whatever you needed. And it was, he had other programs, but I can't recall the names of them that fit people. But the big ones was the CCC, which is Civilian Conservation Corps, and the ASTP, which is the Army Specialist Training Program, and it paid $5.
So
All right.
You graduated from McGill Institute?
Yes, sir.
So, did you have a lot of friends there? What was your experience growing up and going to McGill and all that stuff?
Oh, I was crazy about McGill. I was under that program, and my job was to empty waste paper baskets and sweep the halls and stuff of that nature. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Mm.
I thought you were a student there too.
Huh?
I thought you were
was.
just a student
He
there.
was a student there.
But
No,
that was
but
one of
he
the
also-
programs.
That was one of the public programs at that time, was to assist the school, was to work in the school.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
So, do you have any good memories about McGill or growing up and stuff?
Nothing could be better at McGill. Nothing. I love McGill. And during my time there, the school was right at 200, and it went up to 240, 250. And so all of us were in the McGill home at that time. The classes were.
Mm-hmm.
But they owned or acquired the buildings behind them, and we had 4 classrooms behind the main building, which faced Government Street. I think McGill was torn down during your time. I think David remembers it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you, David? Yeah, but in these 4 classrooms, which was behind it, took the overflow. And McGill was down there until I don't want to get ahead of myself, but they were down there till went out on Lafayette Street.
Yeah.
And then of course they built the McGill as you know it today.
All right. So you mentioned earlier that every day at school 15 cents could buy you lunch. How much food did that buy?
Well, they bought at that time hot dogs that was the big thing. Hot dogs were 5 cents, and the Coke, of course, was 5 cents, or whatever you drank. And so for 15 cents you could eat. A lot of times you only ate off a dime. But I was fortunate that I worked under McGill. They called the so-called lunchroom. There was no sitting down or anything. They just came up to the window and bought your stuff, and then you found a place to eat it in the basement. All this was in the basement, but they called it the Yellow Jacket. And this friend of mine gave me a job in the Yellow Jacket, and of course I got, for working in the Yellow Jacket, I got the free lunch, which was 15 cents. 15 cents.
Yeah. So you say 15 cents could stretch $1 for lunch, but what else could that much buy you in the entertainment-wise?
Entertainment-wise?
Yeah, you mentioned you were poor, so
well,
what did you do for fun?
Well, there were 3: the Empire, the Crescent, and the Crown. They won. They still got a Crescent downtown.
Those are movie theaters, I presume.
Huh?
Those are movie theaters, I presume, correct?
Yeah, well, yeah. There were 3 of them right in a row. And 2 of them were a nickel and 1 of them was a dime to go to. So you went to the picture show for a nickel or a dime.
Was there anything better about the one with the dime? Or
Huh?
what? Was there anything better about the one that cost a dime?
Well, I imagine they figured they had superior pictures. I don't know. However, I went to the Crescent most of the time on account of it was a nickel myself.
Very good. So, using your job and your free lunch and McGill, so would you say that pretty much sums up how you dealt with the Great Depression?